Right now, if you see, before it is drying itself, I am giving the shading of it. Sorry. And then okay, now I will little bit, because this is the area which is going to turn the other side, so that will have a little bit of core shadow in it, right? So I will just take little color on my brush and I will just color the outline. It will spread on its own because this place is already wet. Because we just applied water over there, right?
Yeah.
Right? And if you feel that it is not spreading, where I feel in one or two places, just take water and just dab with the tip of the brush in the edge. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you see, it is all the game of water and how you play with water. Now over here also, I'm scared of this waterfall. Here also we had little bit of shape given to it with shadow and everything, right? Okay?
Yeah.
The random little bit light and dark thing, just keep going in the curvy direction itself. And you will get your curve look. So basically we don't have to make too much enough effort to get that curve effect. It's just that how you are moving the strokes. You go straight, your entire object becomes straight. You go curve in the right way, you will get the right shape and form of that object. Right? Now we had a little bit of more shadow over here. Now just when it is wet, that time itself, just go like a throw technique that I always say. Just keep your brush here and pull it. That's what we generally do with our 8B pencil. Like a small hatching strokes. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's do this. I'm going to do this completely and show it to you. Okay? Because then since I am yes, see this place is going to be dark. If we apply the basic understanding of the shadows, then this part is behind these two. You know?
Yeah.
So, but right now we will not do anything over there. We'll see what effect of dark and light is coming on this. Based on that, this place will be darkened. Because possible, while coloring, my brush may go little bit outside or may go little bit inside. So then I have to cover up that place accordingly. Okay? Because let's say by mistake I just make the entire thing black and then my apple shape goes wrong. So then it's a wrong. So those cast shadow, core shadow, mainly cast shadow work at the end. Okay? Now let's move with the so-called pomegranate. Let's hope it looks like a pomegranate. So always keep two brush ready with you.
Yeah.
Okay, now over here it will go in opposite direction from here. Because I also want to show the bottom part as curving. Now we'll use the fat brush to just blend it. Now in this, wherever we need that dark effect, it was mainly on these sides. If I go by this one, by the papaya shading, but the bottom has to be curved in this way. Okay?
Yeah.
So you will take your strokes from downwards, and for up you will come from up. Okay? This is more or less how I think the pomegranate was. Right, now let's come to our beautiful apple. Now for apple I will need clean water. In fact, before you start every object, always make sure that you wash your brush in the in clean water. Okay.
Yeah.
So since in the first layer itself we had added where it has to be dark, where it has to be light, so it is easy for us to just go on applying dark color over there in those places and just blend it later on, because it becomes easier. Now while you're working on this side, make sure you do not touch the pomegranate, because if I touch the pomegranate, then the color is bound to come this side. It will come this side, and you don't want that, right?
So I need like a small gap between them.
Yes, yes. Now see, in any fruit mainly, and birds and animals, the shape really matters, because they are so curvy and feathery, especially birds. They are so feathery. So if their feathers are not shown overlapping to each other in the right way, you will not get the correct look of their wings. Same way with fruits, if you cannot show that in which direction or how they are placed, then it's difficult to understand that how we have to color it. Now from this part, I will just take like this first, and then I will come like this, and I will blend both. Now try to take no water in your brush, like as much less water possible, and just what we did over here, that hatching kind of a thing, because there is almost sufficient water on my paper, so I will not take too much of water in my brush, and just give some lines of hatching or those small strokes. Okay. just this part, okay? Just go like this. See, I did not go like this. I went in this way because I want this color to flow in that direction. That's why. Now we'll just add the cast shadow here, a little bit here, so that we can see the difference between each object. Okay, we'll begin with this part because this part is still little wet because we've just colored apple. You know?
Yeah.
So we'll first begin with our papaya side. Then we'll come here. Here it will be a thin line, but in this part it will become like a dark patch.
So the complete dark one that's like the cast shadow should be done at the end.
At the end, correct. And then you just blend the edge a little bit, which will show the gradual fading of your cast shadow. But for blending edge, make sure you always dip your brush in clean water. See, the reason cast shadow is done at the end is because by then all your objects and everything would have dried.
So then the color will start.
Correct. And this is not only for the monocoloring way, but also for everything. If you see, we always make the cast shadow at end. Okay, now the last thing, which is the negative space, which is gonna add a good amount of value to your painting.
So for this, I should use the fatter brush.
Of course, because then at one go you can cover a lot of area. And if you see, I'm not following any particular kind of direction. It depends on what you want to show. If you want to show a table, then you'll have to go in tables kind of a direction painting, right? But if you want to show just normal cloth being kept folded, then you just go in that kind of a format. Like your brush flow and everything will be, movement and everything will be like that.
Usually most watercolor paintings have cloth compared to table.
Yeah, even if they have table, you'll see that the table fall part is covered with cloth.
Yeah.
Tables and all you will find a lot when it comes to oil painting. They will beautifully show the dining table and everything.
So oil painting, you have to use the medium as oil instead of water.
Instead of water, yes.
Is oil painting like one of the last things we're gonna learn?
Yep.
There's nothing.
That's kind of the end kind of. Because see, water painting and oil painting has got some techniques involved in it. So once you've got a complete understanding of water painting, it becomes easier to understand oil painting.
Has anyone started oil painting yet?
Now, I generally begin oil painting from 4th year. So Chanakya will be starting next year.
Oh,
Because he is giving 3rd year, na?
okay.
Yeah. So he will be starting. There is your complete. Right?
Yeah.
one thing which will be the last thing in this, that is you just take little bit of black and highlight these parts, because this is where your cast shadow has to be more prominent, right? Because we've been showing the cast shadow this side, you know? We have to make sure that they are more prominent. And that thing you will color with your thinner brush, not the flat one.
Yeah.
And this you do after you have completed your total background. Because by then a little bit of dryness will be there in paper, it won't be too flowy,
Yeah.
or it won't be too sticking also. So it will be like both together types. Okay? So see, just with two brush you can finish off the entire work. We have done a small work right now. Even if you are making an A3 size or even an A1 size, maybe for an A1 size you will need, instead of 4 you may need 6. But when you are adding details now, you will ultimately need brush number 1 and 2 only, or 4 only.
Okay. Which brush is that one? You think?
This is brush number 8. This is a different brand. This is Camlin's very old brand that has come back.
This is.
But what I would suggest is you use brush number Weldon one that I have given you. You use brush number 4. This one. You use brush number 4 and 10. This is how your entire drawing will look. Okay?